Am I the villain? Children of blood and bone and the complexities of light skin identity. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving back into Tomi Adeyemi's Children of Blood and Bone, a book that sparked so much conversation, passion, and for many, a lot of uncomfortable truths. Last time we touched on how this story powerfully reflects real-world oppression. But today, I want to explore another side of that truth, one that often gets overlooked, and one that hits very close to home for me as a light-skinned African American. When a story paints a picture of villains, what happens when you or your identity feels reflected in that villainy? What does it feel like to be told, even implicitly, that your skin tone, your very existence, aligns you with oppressors? That's the challenging conversation we need to have. If you've read Children of Blood and Bone, or if you've ever felt caught between worlds because of your identity, let me know in the comments. And if you haven't, don't worry, we'll keep spoilers to a minimum, focusing on the broader themes of identity and belonging. Setting the stage, Orisha's harsh reality and our place within it. For those unfamiliar, Children of Blood and Bone takes us to Orisha, a land divided. We have the diviners, with their distinct white hair and dark skin, who once wielded magic and who are now brutally oppressed. And then there are the Kosiden, often depicted with lighter skin tones, who rule with an iron fist, having violently purged magic and maintained control through fear and discrimination. The allegories here are clear. The story draws parallels to systemic racism, police brutality, and the abuse of power. Tomi Adeyemi has spoken about how real-life injustices against Black people inspired her to create this world. And it is vital to acknowledge and understand that painful reality. However, for some readers, myself included, the stark portrayal of the Kosiden as the oppressors, the villains, can be deeply unsettling. Because for many of us, especially light-skinned people of color, our own identities are incredibly complex, and we already struggle with feeling like we don't quite fit anywhere. The pain of being cast as the villain, a personal reflection. This is where it gets really personal. As a light-skinned African American, I live in a space that many don't fully understand. I've been told I'm too light to be Black by some, and too dark to be white by others. I've been called exotic in ways that dehumanize. And yes, I've even been made the villain in situations, sometimes by friends within my own community, who believe my life is inherently easier, or that I benefit from some unspoken privilege. This kind of narrative, where light skin is equated with oppression or inherent evil, can be incredibly damaging. When I read a story like Children of Blood and Bone and see the lighter-skinned group as the primary oppressors, my immediate thought isn't, oh, that's just a fictional group. It's, am I being reflected here? Am I, in this story, also being cast as the oppressor simply because of my skin tone? It's a terrifying feeling to be implicitly blamed for historical wrongs or ongoing injustices simply because of how you look. It reinforces the idea that your identity is inherently problematic, rather than recognizing the vast spectrum of experiences within racial groups. And for young, light-skinned individuals already struggling with belonging, navigating a world that often struggles to place them, this kind of portrayal can be truly isolating and confusing. So how do we hold both truths? How do we acknowledge the book's powerful critique of oppression without inadvertently harming individuals who might feel targeted by its allegory? The key lies in distinguishing between a system of oppression and individual identity. In Children of Blood and Bone, the Kosiden regime is the oppressor. It's the king, the military, the laws, and the systemic violence they enact. This system is unequivocally harmful and unjust. The book brilliantly exposes how power can corrupt, and how fear can be weaponized to control a population. While many Kosiden characters are complicit or actively villainous, the book also gives us characters like Amari, the princess, who actively rebels against her own people's oppressive system. She represents the possibility of empathy, change, and fighting against the very system she was born into. This distinction is crucial in our own world. Systemic racism, colorism, and other forms of oppression are real. They are structures of power and privilege that disadvantage some and benefit others. But identifying those systems is not the same as labeling every individual within a privileged group as inherently evil or personally responsible for every single act of oppression. When a narrative presents an entire group as the bad guys because of their skin tone, even in a fantasy setting, it risks reinforcing harmful stereotypes. It can make real, light-skinned individuals, who may themselves be marginalized in other ways, or simply trying to find their place, feel like they are inherently aligned with something they abhor. The harm of simplistic villainy and the nuance of belonging. The danger of simplistic villainy is that it erases nuance. It ignores the incredible diversity within any racial group. It ignores the fact that colorism exists within communities of color, creating hierarchies and pain. For light-skinned Black people, the struggle to be seen as Black enough is a lifelong battle, often marked by suspicion from within their own community and fetishization or denial from outside it. When we create narratives where light skin is synonymous with oppressor, we add another layer of burden to this already complex identity. It can lead to internalized guilt and shame for individuals who just want to belong. It can foster further division within marginalized communities, creating resentment and misunderstanding among people who should be allies. It also represents a missed opportunity for deeper empathy. Instead of understanding the systemic forces, we reduce it to a simple us versus them based on appearance. Children of Blood and Bone is a powerful book because it tackles tough themes. But we, as readers and viewers, have a responsibility to engage with these themes critically, to understand the author's intent, and also to acknowledge how these narratives land on all audiences, especially those who might feel inadvertently targeted. So how do we move forward? How do we discuss stories like Children of Blood and Bone in a way that truly promotes understanding and healing for everyone? First, we must embrace complexity. Recognize that identity, race, and experience are incredibly nuanced. There is no single Black experience or light-skinned experience. Second, we need to focus on systems, not just individuals. Critique the systems of oppression, not the individuals who are inadvertently caught in allegories. Third, it's vital to validate all experiences. Create space for everyone's story of struggle and belonging, including those who navigate the complexities of being light-skinned in a world that often demands simple binaries. Fourth, let's promote empathy. Encourage genuine understanding for the pain caused by oppression, regardless of how one fits into the narrative. Finally, we must build bridges, not walls. Use these discussions to build stronger communities, where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued for who they are. Children of Blood and Bone offers us a mirror, not just to the pain of oppression, but also to the opportunity for radical empathy. Let's use it to foster conversations that heal rather than hurt, and that bring us closer to a world where everyone belongs. This conversation is just the beginning. I truly believe that by sharing our authentic experiences, we can deepen our collective understanding. What are your thoughts on this perspective? Have you ever felt this way reading a book or watching a movie? Share your experiences respectfully in the comments below. If you found this video insightful and felt seen, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more discussions on books and culture, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.